Welcome, welcome to Pissed Off Mike. You've heard of Prison Mike? Maybe you have, maybe you haven't, but this is Pissed Off Mike. And why am I pissed off? I don't know. I just am all the time. But this week, certain things have pissed me off more than other things, and I'll share them with you. So, first, I'm going to start with the situation at USC with Caleb Williams. The article in the LA Times, where his dad, Carl, said, the OU fans drove him away. Now, again, this wasn't the entire part of the article. I don't like doing that to people, but it's the world we live in. So there was discussion about why Caleb left and some of the things the Oklahoma coaches didn't do after Lincoln Riley left and Brent Venables was hired. But there was some outrage in the article from Caleb's father that they went and got Dillon Gabriel in the portal after Caleb went in the portal. Well, of course, what are you going to, you have to. You can't just sit there and please come back. Oh, we love you. Please don't leave us while he's out there looking at other schools. Then you leave yourself behind the eight ball with no quarterback. I mean, Spencer Rattler already left and you were fine with that, But this is a different situation. This was your starting quarterback. This was a guy you wanted to build your offense around. Okay, great. He wants to go with Lincoln Riley. Sorry. Oops. Or go someplace else to be a star, to be prepared for the NFL draft, to be an NIL guy, whatever. Whatever the reason, that's great. The portal's there for a reason. Hop in. But to expect Oklahoma not to get a quarterback in the portal after you did that, that's delusional and it's insane and it pisses me off. Maybe it was taken out of context. Maybe the quotes were taken out of context. That happens to me, which will be my second pissed off point. But it's just not reality. This isn't life. You can't jump in the portal and pray that Oklahoma just throws everything they can at you and doesn't come up with a backup plan. And then to say that, when they got Dillon Gabriel, that was their message to Caleb. Oh, yeah. No, Dillon Gabriel's not Caleb Williams. But then he brought the fans into it, which kind of bothers me a bit because, listen, I have thin skin sometimes too. Fans call me horrible names all day long. And, last week, many wanted me dead for an Arch Manning situation, which I'll talk about in a second, for no good reason. They're irrational. I get it. Fans are irrational. And yes, I do remember a time last year when Spencer Rattler was struggling. Fans were chanting for Caleb Williams. I also remember a time last year when Caleb Williams was struggling and fans were chanting for Spencer Rattler. That's the way life works. If you can't handle that, you better not prepare for an NFL career because it's going to get worse and worse for you. But to say that the fans' reaction when you went in the portal, kind of drove you to USC or drove you out of Norman is just unfathomably ridiculous. If you ever check out any message board any week, go to an Alabama message board when they struggle in a game or even, God forbid, lose a game. There's morons on there that will say Nick Saban needs to be fired. I mean, the problem with social media is that it brings the 99% of the idiots in the world to the forefront and gives them a voice. So those idiots are going to say this, that, and the other about Caleb Williams. That's life. 25 years ago, we didn't have that issue. It was call-in radio shows where Vinny from Jersey got to call in and yell. And he was lucky enough to get in. Now it's everybody with a Twitter account, Instagram account, whatever. They can say whatever they want. You have to tune that out, and you can't use that as an excuse to leave. Just own it. Just say, listen, Lincoln Riley was the coach I committed to. He was the guy that I liked. He's headed off to USC. I'm going to follow because I believe he's the guy that can develop me. End of story. No fans, no Dillon Gabriel, no, it wasn't handled right. No, they didn't, rub my butt enough when I went in the portal. None of that garbage. Just enough. Enough. You went to USC. It's great. It's fine. Oklahoma fans are going to hate you. They're going to hate Lincoln Riley. That's life. People hate me all the time. I can't change that. And I can't keep whining about it. So here's the thing. Oklahoma fans will root for Dillon Gabriel. USC fans will root for Caleb Williams. That's the way it goes. let's just move on. Let's not talk about it endlessly and let your son do the talking if you want to let somebody talk. Let him do the talking. And this isn't like a personal attack. I don't know Caleb. I don't know Carl. I don't know any of them. They didn't talk to me during the recruiting process. When I was in charge at the time, my regional guy handled all of that, Caleb Williams situation, where there was many schools involved and he was, leaning towards different schools at different times and all this other stuff and, rankings issues, he should be higher, whatever. I didn't deal with any of it. I don't know these people. They don't know me, but they really just got to stop. Okay, let's just season, I guess, can't get here soon enough for them. Go out and prove it on the field. Go win the Pac-12. Go to the playoff. If you want to do a victory lap after that, even though you're the one who left, I guess you can, but it makes no sense. You left. You chose to leave. It's no one's decision or fault but yours. So you can't blame it on getting Dillon Gabriel. You can't blame it on fans being upset. It's an adult world and you made an adult choice and that's great. Now let's just leave it be. That pisses me off. What also pisses me off is things taken out of context, which I kind of just did with Carl Williams, because I'm sure that article and interview was much longer. Well, the article wasn't, but the interview was much longer. And I'm sure they took the juicy parts of his quotes and popped it in there. And that's what happens. And it happened to me last week, and it's life. But I could still be pissed off about it. I said if the film came in and it was Arch Smith, and nobody knew he was Peyton's and Eli's, nephew, nobody knew his last name was Manning, that he would be probably evaluated as a high 3-star kid based on level of competition and what I saw on film. Now, I'm not backing down from that in any way, shape, or form, but I did say, which nobody else focuses on, of course, because they took the juicy part and ran with it, that I have him as a 4-star kid because you get a half a star for that Manning last name because no Manning quarterback has ever been unsuccessful. So that's a thing. It really is, and it always should be a thing. Now, Joe Montana's kid was not a good quarterback. That was clear. Should he have gotten a half a star? No, he shouldn't have, because he wasn't good. I could name more quarterbacks. Phil Simms' kid, Matt. I had him as a 3-star kid. He wasn't that good. That's life. But Arch Manning's good. So when you take good and you put it with Manning, you come up with 4 stars. You do not come up with 5. You do not in any way, shape, or form come up with number 1. And it also pisses me off that nobody's going to drop him from number 1. It's impossible. They won't. First of all, the name will keep him number 1. And secondly, he's committed to Texas, which is a huge, huge program, which has a huge amount of fans who all pay for subscriptions. And that's business. And I get that too. That doesn't piss me off. What pisses me off is that everybody's saying, former recruiting director says he's a 3-star. It's not the whole story. And could you at least put my stupid website in there? None of the articles list my dumb website. It's giving publicity to someplace I don't work anymore. So that pisses me off as well. But anyhow, I just did it to Carl. They've done it to me. I guess it's the world we live in. It also pisses me off that fans are just too blinded to see that if this kid decommitted tomorrow, they would say he's overrated and sucks too. Oh, we didn't do that with Quinn Ewers, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you did. Not all of you. It's the loud 10% that represents the university on social media, and most of those are jerks. I had some little turd this week jump in my Instagram calling me a horrible human being and washed up and fat and every name you could come up with. And so I responded to him because he was one of his tags in his thing. I didn't follow him and I couldn't see his profile because it was a private account, which is great. So I didn't, suggest, I didn't go follow and ask for, acceptance for that or anything, but it showed on there Texas Media and Broadcasting or something, which is, I believe, the part of the university he studied at. And I just said to him, I said, I'll be in contact with them, because I thought he was still a student. I'm sure they don't want their students going out there. And there was a lot of defamatory, derogatory stuff in this message to me. And then he blocked me. Like, you come at me, you say I'm a fat turd and I suck and I'm stupid, I'm washed up, and I get off on ragging on kids. And you're clearly a Texas kid. I mean, in your profile, despite the fact that it's private, it's Texas everywhere. Um, and then I respond to you, and then you block me. That's weird. Shouldn't I be blocking you? I don't know. But just get out of your feels when it comes to Arch Manning. If he decommitted and went to Georgia tomorrow, all the Texas fans would say he sucks. And listen, I don't think he sucks. I never said he sucks. I think he's good. His competition level's horrible. Do you know that he played a team last year that dressed 14 players, 14 total players on their team? 14. Not 14 on each side, 14. I mean, you better dominate that level of competition. I could. But when he stepped up to competition, he looked awful. And that doesn't mean he sucks. It means he's not ready. And now there's talk, Vince Young says that he probably thinks he's going to redshirt. I believe that too. I said that about 3 months ago. I said, I think they're willing to redshirt because they know he's not ready. And that would be the best thing for him. Quinn Ewers or Hudson Card this year, Quinn Ewers or Hudson Card next year. And then, Arch Manning can come in as a more polished quarterback who's got used to the speed and been through 2 springs and yada, yada, yada. That would be great. And I think that's the best route for him. But anyways, what else is pissing me off? Oh, I don't know. So moving on, and including the Texas thing. So I put Kyle Flood in as a coordinator on the hot seat, right? And everybody went crazy. You're nuts. He brought in the best offensive line class we've seen in years. Yeah, I get that. That's good. That's very good. I like Kyle Flood. Kyle Flood was coaching up here in the Northeast at Rutgers. Kyle Flood did an amazing job at Alabama. Kyle Flood's doing an amazing job recruiting in Oklahoma. And the offensive line was a mess last year, but it's getting better. But if you don't think he's under the hot seat because his head coach is under the hot seat, then you're delusional. So Sark is on the hot seat. I'm sorry. Last year, the athletic director had to come out and say, we're behind this guy. In year 1, they lost to Kansas. I'm not saying he's going to be fired after year 2, but if he has another 5-7 season, everybody's in big, big trouble, including Kyle Flood. And I wasn't signaling him out, but what I'm saying is he's now under pressure and there's a hot seat on him because here's how the world works. Ready? And I'll explain this to the dummies. The world works this way. If you don't have success, but you've got talent, Xavier Worthy, Bijan Robinson, now you've got Quinn Ewers, everybody expects the offense to be much better. If the offense doesn't have enough success to win enough football games to keep everybody happy, then what happens is the athletic director or the boosters or whoever goes to that head coach and says, listen, this is year 2. You're not having success. We want more. And here's your choices. We're either going to force you out, which we don't want to do, or you got to get rid of some coaches. Look at what happened to Scott Frost last year. Now, that wasn't in year 2, but this is Texas. Things are accelerated. Everything's bigger in Texas. So that's potentially the situation if they don't have success. Now, again, they haven't played a down of football this year, but when I look at the schedule and I see Alabama and Oklahoma in the first half of that schedule, I wonder and worry a little bit about the patience. There's certain schools that have no patience for coaches. Florida is one of them. Texas is another. I could name others, but let's admit Texas is one of those schools that does not have patience because they should be winning and they haven't. And they made bad hires. Charlie Strong fished out of water. Tom Herman didn't live up to all of the amazing accolades he was supposed to have entering after being at Ohio State and recruiting the state of Texas and doing well at Houston, blah, blah, blah. No, bad hires. So now you got Sark, who I'm not saying is a bad hire, but he's under pressure. And as a result, his offensive coordinator is under pressure too, because he's got all these weapons now. So if the offense doesn't light up the world, pressure. So it doesn't piss me off, I guess, that people disagree. It pisses me off that people say I'm stupid for thinking that. Did we think last year that Spencer Rattler would be benched? Did we think last year that Caleb Williams would transfer? Crazy stuff happens in college football all the time. And that's just the way it is. I mean, last year, the beginning of the season, we didn't think Stetson Bennett was going to be the guy. And he ended up winning a national championship. So many, many things happen that we're really not tuned in with. And I'm not saying that what I'm suggesting is true or not. You disagree with it, but to say I'm stupid, I know many things. I'm not stupid. I know I'm many other things, but I'm not stupid. That pisses me off. What else that pisses me off too? The Open. You know, I like golf. I'm horrible at it. The Open pisses me off because why? I picked Xander Schauffele. I have a tier system pool that you pop in, you know, you pick golfers from each tier, and he was in tier one, and I could have picked Rory. I could have picked Cam Smith, who ended up winning it. I could have picked a lot of different golfers, but Xander Schauffele, you won the Travelers right up the road. You won the Scottish Open. You were on fire. You were kicking butt. I picked you, and you sucked. You finished, I don't know, whatever, 9 under, 10 under, but you didn't even come close to competing. And every pick I seem to make, whether it's fantasy football, whether it's picking a football game against the spread, whether it's picking golf, they all seem to suck. And maybe I'm the curse. Maybe I'm the one who made Xander Schauffele play very, very poorly at a course that was set up for him perfectly with no weaknesses in his game. But that pisses me off too. There's other things, I'm sure, but I don't want to go too long on these pissed off things because they are kind of negative. But why did I think to even start this? Because the world is pissed off. Everybody's pissed off. Everything I put out pisses people off. So, another one. I put up a Michael Mayer versus Eric All graphic. You know, pick your tight end. It's for fun. It's to talk about. Eric All's not that far off Michael Mayer. He's going to have a really good season this year. Michael Mayer, yes, is in the discussion as the number one tight end in the country with Brock Bowers. But last year, we didn't know Brock Bowers was going to be that good, did we? Eric All has had a tremendous spring, and he's going to be very, very good for Michigan. Just watch. Now, I'm not saying people should have picked Eric All. I expected Michigan fans and Notre Dame fans to sort of go back and forth about it a little bit. But to call me stupid, is this a joke? Are you putting this like the realm of possibility isn't existing anywhere on this planet that Eric All could have a similar year to Michael Mayer? It doesn't exist. The percentage is zero that would ever happen. That pisses me off because anything can happen. And that's just the way it is. I put up Brock Bowers versus Michael Mayer before, but I thought it would be cool. Let's put a Midwest spin on this, two physical tight ends that I think are similar. Mayer's better, bigger, more athletic. He's Gronk. Eric All isn't that far off. But it's just a joke. You're an idiot. Delete your account. I like that one too. So apparently 100% of your engagement these days on social media has to be negative. And if it is negative, then you're doing well. So the more dumb things I say in the eyes of fans, the better off I am. But yet you people call me stupid. But isn't that being stupid on purpose? Should I be stupid on purpose? Should I just, on my top 5 quarterbacks, leave out Caleb Williams just for fun so I can get the USC fans outraged and the Oklahoma fans happy? Should I do that? So what you're saying is I'm stupid, but you're asking me to be just dumber, even more stupid. And that's stupid. And that pisses me off. But I know what I'm doing. I really do. I've been doing this for a very long time. I'm not trying to put out opinions. Arch Manning 3-star was not coordinated so I could blow up for a week in July. July, right? The worst time in the world to go viral about anything. Nobody gives a crap. You know, if I'm going to go viral on that, it should be around signing day in December. It should be around signing day maybe in February, or it should be in the spring, or it should be during football season, like a real time, not July. I said it because I meant it, and somebody asked me that question. That's what I'm always going to do when I react to the Caleb and Carl Williams thing. It's because I mean it. I feel this is dumb. Don't get upset about the fans. You left them. You left them. But anyways, this is Pissed Off Mike. Let me know if you like it. If you like Pissed Off Mike, I'll do more Pissed Off Mike. This seems to be a perfect fit for social media and the internet. Pissed Off Mike. I should be wearing, sort of a do-rag or something, right? like Prison Mike. But that's obviously 100 years ago and not acceptable. But my face looks pissed off, right? So I don't need anything other than my dumb hat, my swing juice hat because I suck at golf, my cheap knockoff non-Oakley shades because I broke mine, one of my 3 rotational polo shirts that I wear. If anybody knows me, they know, and me. That's it. 20 minutes of pissed off, and I'm sure I missed a bunch of things. I'm going to talk about more. Let me know if you like it though. If you don't like it, I won't do it anymore.